What do I do for a living? I'm a professional attention seeker.
And my dad, thank you to my dad. And my dad, thank you to my dad.
Damn!
If a girl says, I need cuddles, it actually means she wants to be railed.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
What makes me say that?
Yeah,
well,
what makes you say that?
Okay, two things. Filters and makeup.
Makeup's lying.
Makeup is the most accepted lie in society. I'm
But,
not...
Like, so do you think like also like dyeing your hair an unnatural color is lying?
I suppose it is, yes.
Okay.
I
So
don't-
reshaping your body and like working out and giving yourself toned muscles, that's also changing your appearance.
That's not a lie though. That's you're actually making
You're
a change.
accentuating your body.
You're conflating exercising and getting fit to makeup, something that can be put on and removed.
Couldn't you compare your beard to makeup since it hides your jawline?
That's so true.
Yeah, that is true. No.
No, not really.
How come?
It's definitely different. How come?
How is
See
it
him
different?
in public, he's gonna have it. Like, and if he does take it off, it's gonna grow back as a part of him. Whereas, like, we choose when we want to put on and take off makeup. I don't know. Maybe
I mean, but like you can choose when you want to take off a beard.
It's
or
changing
not.
your
Yeah.
appearance.
It's totally different though.
But yeah, because you contour your face to look a certain way, whereas you can't tell your beard to grow a certain way.
Well, you can shape it a certain way.
Yeah.
Like you can shave it. Like I know many guys like do certain haircuts or like beard shaping just to like get a certain defined jawline, like to make their appearance look different.
So you're comparing.
My needs are simple. All I want is someone to squeeze my butt and tell me I'm pretty.
I may not be good at many things, but I know for sure that I'm good at two things. One is overthinking, two is eating.
You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world. I swear to God. Listen, I'm not shaming people for their looks, but I am though.
He's a 10, but he's short.
Oh boy.
7.
He's like a 6.
He's a 6.
And I go with a 5. 3.
I do not look good. I've never in my entire life had anyone telling me I look good.
I'm not that good looking and I'm not happy. So I must suck, you know, and that's gonna make people sad.
The thing about dating an ugly though, man, though, it's advantages, lady. You date an ugly man, he ain't ever too busy. You can call him for anything.
I needed a name for the channel. I didn't want it to be my name because I didn't really like myself.
How can I love someone when I don't love myself?
I just wish I just felt more comfortable in my own skin a lot of times, you know, because I feel like I would be able to be more effective as a person if I could just like kind of not toil in some of my own, you know, small self-worth issues or like lack of confidence at times.
If I get pretty one day, it's over for you bitches. I would just like to announce that it is now over for you bitches.
What's wrong? Oh, I had a bad day. I need some oral support. Don't you mean moral? I know what I said.
The reality of being the placeholder girl is as brutal as it gets, and the sad truth is, this is the inevitable path for many modern women playing the 304 game. Being the one who's used for a good time but never for the long haul, only to see these guys settle down with someone else. That's the unfortunate result of a lifestyle centered around temporary thrills. When you're constantly the backup option or the fun-only girl, you're not building anything lasting. And when the wall hits, and it always does, it's not just about being passed over for commitment. You won't even be the fallback during a dry spell. That's the harsh MGTOW reality, where the fun only lasts for a while, but the consequences stick around forever.
Get out of the car.
What are you doing? What is this about?
Shoplifting. Get out of the car.
What is this doing?
Get out of the car.
Ma'am. Ma'am, get away from my car.
I can't run you over. 207, shots fired.
Ah, the age of the Karen cop. Welcome to the Guinness-centric dictatorship where I want to speak to your manager has become I am your manager. It's not just about getting your latte wrong anymore. Now it's about having your day ruined because someone didn't cater to their every whim. So instead of calling for a manager, now you're dealing with officers who see themselves as the ultimate arbiters of what's fair and just often driven by personal feelings rather than actual law enforcement principles. And guess what? If they don't get their way, they're just as likely to fire you or write you up as they would be to complain about a missing straw in their frappuccino. It's a tough world out there when the Karens get to wield real power.
Here's what I've learned being single 7 months after being in a relationship for 4 years that should have left earlier. First of all, take your time. If you don't want to talk to a single male, you don't need to. But if you do, then do it and have fun with it. It doesn't need to be serious. It's not like high school. Just because you're hanging out with someone, you don't need to like make things official. It's what you want to make of it. My personal favorite part is being independent. I am so independent now. I actually prefer to be alone sometimes, which couldn't be me before. I'm not afraid to stay in. I'm not afraid to go out. I do whatever I want to do. I am so content being alone. I have so much fun alone. I've learned so much about myself that I didn't know before. Also, I'm learning to love myself and truly myself. Have my energy back. Like, I'm attracting good energy because my energy is good. I'm so confident. I'm so happy. And my friendships are the strongest they've ever been because I don't have negative energy affecting me anymore. So you only have to worry about yourself. It's nice to not worry about what someone else is doing and do whatever the heck you want to do. It's fun to take risks and travel and meet people that you wouldn't meet before and just put yourself out there and get butterflies again and flirting and like, I don't know. It's just fun. And just remember what's meant for you will find. So go live your life because I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun.
Well, here's the reality check. If you're a single mum with more baggage than a 747, it's pretty clear why a lot of guys might not be lining up to take on your past traumas or current issues. Dating isn't therapy, but it seems like many women in this situation treat it like an emotional dumping ground. Here's the kicker: the ones who are genuinely interested. They're often looking for something casual. They're not signing up to be Dr. Phil or to repair a broken narrative. They just want to keep things straightforward and, let's be honest, many are just interested in a fling. So if you're hoping for anything beyond a casual hookup, you might be in for a disappointment. The sad truth is there's no reset button, no cheat codes, and no do-overs. What you see is what you get, and the guys who are looking for a long-term partner are likely to steer clear if they sense they're signing up for a lifetime of emotional baggage and trauma.
Sometimes I'll be thinking, like, what if I'm too damaged to be loved? Like, what if I am? What if I'm like, the reason why this dating shit's not happening for me is because men can actually see how fucking damaged I am inside. And they don't want to deal with it. I've been thinking about that here lately. I've been trying to be a good person and do good by people. But then I think, I don't know.
Oh man, this is a wild ride. Picture this: you're in the middle of a messy custody battle saga, and the kid ends up wanting to swap careers from doctor to, well, a whole different identity. Imagine paying child support for 18 years only to have your kid come out and say, "I'm not into being a doctor, I want to be a unicorn, seriously." It's like life's throwing you curveballs from all directions. And then there's this whole gender identity whirlwind happening in the feminist West, where kids are learning about LGBTQ stuff before they even know how to tie their shoes. Raised by a single mom who's probably got more issues with men than a soap opera star? Yeah, that's a recipe for some serious psychological baggage. Now, let's talk dating. You think you're out there looking for love, but what if you're actually signing up for a surprise party you didn't RSVP to? You could end up with someone who isn't upfront about their background. And the worst part? A few drinks in, and your radar's off. You're stuck trying to figure out if you've just met your soulmate or dodged a bullet with some secrets. So keep your wits about you, folks. When you're out there dating, especially if alcohol's involved, make sure your eyes are wide open. Because let's be real, nobody wants to find out they're dating someone who's got a plot twist ready to roll out.
Stay with me while I tell you the story of how my dad disowned me. Yay! Okay, so basically my dad is extremely religious and I am extremely transgender. Usually those things don't mix very well. Now, before I was out as trans, I was actually out as a gay boy. Also, most of the makeup that I'm using today is from Too Faced. So yeah, I was already out as gay, but my dad, he didn't even like that, because it was against the religion. And my dad would pretend that he was okay with me being gay at the time, but girl, No, he wasn't. I remember one time he told me that if I was gonna be gay and date a man, that I had to be the man of the relationship. You can't be the woman of the relationship. Basically, he's just like anti-femininity. But yeah, I already knew that I was gonna transition. I waited to transition until I was 18. So knowing that my dad was so against me like being feminine, girl, I was terrified to come out to him. I was terrified. Also, I loved this Fenty cream bronzer. But yeah, when I did finally decide to come out as trans, first I came out to some of my close friends, and then I came out to my mom and sister, and they were all supportive. It was great. I was very lucky in that regard. When it came to my dad, I was literally so scared. But my stepmom and my dad were living together at the time, and they lived like over an hour away from me. So I decided to call my stepmom and tell her over the phone that I was starting my transition. Now my stepmom is great. I told her, she's very supportive. I'm very lucky to have her as well. But after I told her, she asked me if I wanted her to tell my dad also, because they lived together. So I was like, okay, whatever, might as well get it over with. So she told my dad about my transition. He was not having it, girl. He was not happy. You know, I feel like my dad always knew that I was gonna transition, because not too long before this, he was on the phone with my mom for some reason, and she was gonna tell him something about me, but he like cut her off, and he was like, he's not turning into a woman, is he? He knew. Girl, he knew. Anyways, after my stepmom told him that I was transitioning, he was upset, and I did not hear from him at all. It was radio silent. But then unfortunately, like a week after I came out to him as trans, my dad's dad, my pawpaw, passed away. So I had to go down there and visit for his funeral. You know, it was all really sad, and it would be the first time that I was gonna see my dad after he found out that I was transitioning. So I didn't want to add too much fuel to the fire, so I went to the funeral appearing as a boy. After the funeral was done, I went back to my dad's house with some family. This man then sat me on the back porch and gave me a 45-minute lecture. 45 minutes of every reason that I was going to burn in hell. And mind you, I was like freshly 18, just trying to discover myself. So to say that was traumatizing is an understatement. My dad is like literally a part of a religious cult, so he did not go easy on me. It was brutal. He just told me I was going to burn. Let me just leave it at that. Yeah, that conversation was very hurtful, but I held my ground, bitch. I told him basically, okay, cool, I don't agree. I don't believe in the stuff you do. You're not gonna change my mind. I'm an adult. This is what I want to do. And I didn't talk to him for a while after that. But my dad is a big part of why I waited until I was 18. He made me so terrified of being feminine. Like, he used to get mad at me if he saw me playing with my sister's Barbies. He used to get mad at my mom because she let me have a blankie when I was a little kid and it was too girly. Before I transitioned, I would wear makeup and stuff, but the thought of like actually committing to a transition was just so scary to me. But yeah, after he gave me that lecture, he would call me or text me like every other month to tell me that he's praying for me and he hopes that I turn back. He would send me links to YouTube videos about how the world is gonna end soon and I need to repent. He was like trying to scare me into submission, basically. But then one day he sent me another link to one of his doomsday videos. At this point, I was fed up and I had already gotten everything like legally changed. So I responded to his text and I was like, what's my name in your phone? And he said that he had me saved as my dead name for my contact in his phone. And I told him, look, my name is legally changed. I am legally Zaya. I'm not your son anymore. I'm your daughter. If you cannot address me as who I am, then just don't address me at all. Don't message me again if you can't respect who I am. And yeah, he did not respond to that at all. And in 2022, he found out that I got my gender reassignment surgeries and he's wanted nothing to do with me ever since. I was officially disowned. I almost saw him last year though at my little sister's softball game, but he found out that I was there and he would not come. He refused to even be in my presence. So basically my father would rather disown me than just learn to love me as I am now. And I'm okay with that. I'm an adult. I'm living my own life and I'm moving forward and I'm healing on my own. Plus, I think the only reason my dad wanted a son was to raise someone to be the man that he never lived up to be. Plus, like my whole life, he refused to pay my mom child support so that she could, you know, give me basic necessities and raise me. So yeah, I feel like he never truly cared about me anyways, but it is what it is. I am who I am and life goes on. I'm unapologetically me and I will continue to be. So his loss, honestly, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Ooh, I look good.
Oh boy, this one's a doozy. Imagine getting hit with child support for 18 years, only for your kid to decide they want to be a unicorn instead of the doctor you were dreaming of. Talk about a plot twist. But seriously, in the feminist West, where kids are soaking up LGBTQ stuff from the sandbox to graduation day, it's not surprising to see all kinds of new developments. And let's be real, being raised by a single mom who probably had more opinions about men than a reality TV show? Yeah, that's bound to stir up some deep-seated issues. Now, let's talk dating. Picture this: you're out at the bar, having a good time, and suddenly you're not just trying to find love, but you're also trying to figure out if your date has a secret backstory. It's like playing a game of dating roulette one too many drinks, and you could be caught off guard by a twist you weren't ready for. So keep your eyes peeled, folks. When you're out there mixing drinks and mingling, make sure you're not just seeing what you want to see. You don't want to end up in a situation where your date's big reveal has you reeling.
Does your boyfriend know that you're trans? I actually don't know, so let me go ask him. Baby, do you know that I'm transgender?
Oh my god.
I'm serious, you know? You know that I'm do you know that I'm trans? What?
You're what?
Didn't I tell you? You know my tea?
I don't care.
No?
Nah, I love you.
My man, he love me. He always told that Glock when he selling weed. I said, my man, he love me. He always told.
My man just went to work, but I'm sick and tired of y'all bitches in the comments. Every single time I post him, y'all are like, oh my god, does he know? Does he know that you're trans? Shut the fuck up. Like, god damn. Is it really that surprising to y'all that there are men out there who will openly date a transgender woman? Ooh, give me a goddamn break. Trans women don't always have to be someone's dirty little secret. The fuck? And even though I do have the surgery, gender reassignment surgery, I've always told everyone who I've dated that I'm trans. I'm not trying to get harmed, bitch. But yeah, we've been dating for over a year. He's always known that I'm trans. Even before we started dating, like, it's not that big of a deal. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Oh man, this is a wild one. If even an it guy can snag a boyfriend, it's like living in the ultimate easy mode game for women. Seriously though, the dating scene is so skewed that even the guys who end up with trans partners are often suspected of being on their own gender roller coaster, or at the very least, some kind of male feminist. Let's be honest, if a dude's dating someone who's basically a female knockoff, is he just avoiding the reality of his own preferences, or is he in serious denial? Give it a few years and he might be swiping right on Grindr, or maybe he's a classic case of the modern incel. Raised by a feminist single mum. Talk about a turbocharged disaster. This chaotic mess is why men are jumping ship and going MGTOW. It's like being in a bad reality show where the rules keep changing and the stakes are impossibly high. Cheers to navigating this circus. We're all just trying to avoid the clowns. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value